Today I'm going to be making a Tree of Life pendant. This is actually something that someone posted a comment on one of my other YouTube videos and asked if I could make one. So I've spent several months, a really long time, figuring out something that I enjoyed, that I liked making, and here's what I've come up with. First thing that you need is you're going to need to make a hoop, and I've been using a 16 gauge sterling silver square wire. You don't have to do the same exact hoop I'm going to show you. You can use whatever kind of sturdy wire you have. This is 8 inches long, and this is going to make a 2-inch diameter pendant. And then I have 7 pieces pre-cut of 24 gauge dead soft sterling silver wire. They're between 8 and 9 inches long. And then one more piece of the 24 gauge dead soft wire, which is going to fasten the hoop together, and this one is 6 inches long. Then you'll also need pliers, a round nose pliers, needle nose pliers, wire cutters, and then beads. So I tried all sorts of different beads when I was experimenting and making the trees, and the round just looked better to me. I'm using 4mm round beads. We'll be using 39 of them in the pattern that I'm going to show you today. If you use a smaller bead, you will probably need more of them, a larger bead, less of them. And the last thing that you'll need is something to form the hoop around. I've just been using a generic painkiller bottle, and it's makes the 2-inch hoop that I've been making, so it was the perfect size and I didn't have to go out and buy anything fancy. Start by taking the 16 gauge square wire and with your round nose pliers make a loop around one end. Then grab your bottle or whatever you're going to use as your form and bend the rest of the wire around it. Then on the end you haven't bent yet, bend it going the opposite direction to the inside of the hoop, same way as you did the first end. So it's going to look like that. Now to close it up, we actually are going to open it back up. Take the 6-inch piece of the sterling silver wire, about 2 inches from the top of the wire, and start bending it around the top part of the hoop. If you use your pliers, you can just get a firmer grip and pull it tighter and closer to itself, so it just gives it a slightly more polished look. And then before you squish down the edge, you can push that back up inside of that top hoop and close that hoop back down on itself. And then go ahead and flatten down that little edge. This project has lots of little edges that are going to need to be flattened down. Now go ahead and overlap the two parts and wrap the wire around both of them until you get to about 2 inches from the other end. And once you've got about 2 inches left from the other end, start wrapping just around the one interior hoop. Close the interior hoop back up on itself. Make sure your ends are flattened down so they don't poke anything. Then just go back around your hoop with your fingers, making it as round as you can. And there's the hoop that we're going to use. Now we're going to start putting on these little branch wires. I have found that it's easier to secure the little branch wires in place without putting any beads on first. Take one wire, bend it in half, and just give it, 3 or 4 twists. You don't want to over twist here because you don't want a lot of silver showing. This is going to be the top of the tree next to where the beads go. So it's going to really, on this end, be all about the beads, not all about the silver. So you want just enough twists on this side to anchor it in place and to keep the beads from slipping over and going from one side to the other, and not so many twists that really becomes the focus of the design. So just repeat, put all 7 wires on. Looks a lot like a tree, doesn't it? Now we're going to start adding the beads. I go in a pattern of 5, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6. You have to work your way around in order on the little twists that you've already added to the hoop. So the first one will have 5 beads. So add 3 of your beads to one side of the wire, and then 2 beads to the other side of the wire. And then make sure they fall all the way down against the first twist. Then again, holding it tight with one hand, hold on to the actual beads in the other hand and just start twisting. Be careful not to over twist, but also don't worry if your twist doesn't look that great, because this is a tree and it should have a kind of organic feel to it. How far do you twist it? You twist it until just slightly before the other side of the hoop. You can go ahead and flatten it out once you've added your beads and twisted it. Five, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6. 5, 6, 5, 6, 6, 5, 6. So take 2 of these little branches and move them up to the top and lay them on top of each other and sort of position them, figure out where you would like the first 2 branches to be, and then twist them together. When you twist them together, you'll find that one way they want to twist together and the other way they don't really want to twist together. So twist them together the way that they want to twist together. Now go to the other side and do the same thing. Move 2 little branches to the top. Lay them out sort of how you would like to see them and twist them together. Now take these 4 branches and twist those together. On the more closed side, the side that has the curve of the interior top of the design of the hoop, we're just going to add the 1 single. Then on the more open side, take the last 2 branches and twist them together, and then twist them around the whole trunk of the tree. Now take a minute to sort of look at your tree trunk, and you probably want it to go straight up and down. So sort of separate the roots into groupings, which direction you want them to go. And then starting with the center on the bottom, and you can just sort of bend the other ones out of the way, wrap the roots around the outer hoop. Use your pliers if you need to, and then bend down the little ends. Keep doing the same thing, working your way out and up around the hoop. Be sure that when you're bending the little ends down that you really get them down tight against that wire, because this is very important, you don't want them scratching anyone. And once you've got your roots down, you can go back over the tree, and if you want to gnarl any of the branches, just go in with your pliers and give them a little twist. And there it is.